Holy smokes, we're back live.
Sorry about that, folks. But we are back with the 406 Budcast.
Episode like a whole lot. We've got some wonderful footage from Raymond Guns, CPA, from DOPE CFO. We've got, obviously, Stoner Trivia with Tanaki. Got Michelle behind the desk. Got Tanaki next to me. Got Diesel next to her. 2 socks on the floor. Charlie over there sleeping on the couch. Got a full crew.
Heck yeah.
What
are we going to pop into real quick?
You want to do the intro video?
Certainly.
Be right back here in just a second. Maybe.
Rolling, tune to the 406 Budcast. Down, passion and hustle. Throw big, strong. Hear the latest trends you get. Yeah, knowledge on blast. #1 podcast. It's the 406 Budcast. From strains to gains, we break it all down. Passion and hustle. Wear the green crown. Industry insights.
Good. Fun.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
So,
working on that PhD.
I'm sorry. I started off with, I kind of just didn't lighten up this week.
man, we're just like dropping straight into it, folks.
She's gonna
Oh my goodness. Hold on. I got to fight Diesel for some space on the couch. I can't reach. What the hell?
Diesel had a little bit too much pre-gaming going on.
Okay. Sorry, Diesel. Number 1. What is the primary mechanism by which cannabis plants transport water from roots to leaves? And how does this relate to environmental conditions? A. Transpiration, driven by a water potential gradient, influenced by humidity and temperature. B. Active transport, controlled by root pressure and photosynthesis rates. C. Osmosis, driven by nutrient concentration in the soil versus the concentration in the plant. Or D. Capillary action, determined by the size of the xylem vessels.
Goodness sakes,
Man.
you're not kidding.
Just like boom. By the way, here's a nuclear bomb for you.
Oh, come on. This was like freshman, sophomore science class? One of the two.
You know what I was doing then?
Drugs.
Probably.
What? Weren't we all?
Actually, I wasn't.
I don't think I was paying attention, that's for sure.
Fair.
All right. Well,
Best guesses out there. Anyone got any?
All right. I'm taking a wild guess, but that's what I'm going with.
D.
Michelle's got D. Nate's got B.
I got B.
Chat don't want to play along today.
Come on, chat. You might actually get entered to win some cool stuff.
What?
Yoop, yoop.
Ta-da.
All right. So number 1, what is the primary mechanism by which cannabis plants transport water from roots to leaves? And how does this relate to environmental conditions?
Oh, dude.
Transpiration, driven by a water potential gradient influenced by humidity and temperature.
Wah, wah,
Everything boils back to that humidity and temperature.
Damn it, anyhow.
Really seems that way.
Yep.
Yeah. If you can keep the humidity perfect, even in the curing and drying process, I think, that's what we find from a lot of people.
Mhm. Number 2, how can high levels of potassium during late flowering affect other nutrients? A, it increases magnesium and calcium uptake. B, it reduces iron uptake in the root zone. C, it improves nitrogen mobility. Or D, it competes with calcium and magnesium, potentially causing deficiencies.
All right. Got Wicked Wild out there with an A on the last one, I think. What do you got on this one?
Do, do, do.
Giving some love from Sesh Out. Appreciate everybody out there in the Sesh Out world.
Does that sound copyrighted?
What's that?
The Jeopardy theme song. Or no, was that the Jeopardy?
You know,
No.
it might have been, but you know, who knows?
It's fine. It was too short.
Exactly right. It was just a sample.
We have no money for them to take anyway, so what are they gonna do?
Valid.
I hope they're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Then they'd be like, "You guys really need to come on that show."
All right.
Number 2. Oh wait, what are your guys' answers?
Oh, you know what? I chose D.
Michelle?
I'm going with A.
Okay.
Wicked Wild got D out there.
All right. Number 2. How can high levels of potassium during late flowering affect other nutrients? That is going to be D. It competes with calcium and magnesium, potentially causing deficiencies.
Damn it in here.
I got to admit, I kind of cheated on that one. You had asked that question about like 10 episodes back, and I remembered it.
I'm not going to lie. I just reused one of the slides I already made, shortened it up, and didn't delete number 2.
Shit, yeah. Answer B, folks. Answer B.
Well,
I changed the first 2 questions, or the first and the last one. Oh yeah, this one was funny. Number 3. What is the significance of trichome color in determination of harvest time? A.
poke. Little
Clear,
poke.
clear trichomes indicate the highest THC levels. B. Cloudy trichomes indicate peak THC levels, while amber trichomes indicate more CBN presence. C. Amber trichomes indicate a lack of nutrients and presence of... You can't start giggling when I'm going to say it. C. Amber trichomes indicate a lack of nutrients and presence of heavy metals. Or D. Clear trichomes indicate the plant needs more water before harvest.
Yes, indeed. What do those trichomes mean, folks? Great argument. Great argument. I think everybody out there in the growing world has heard this argument quite a bit throughout their experience.
I feel like every time I can, I definitely poke at it.
I enjoy it for sure. All
You
right.
know, what's life without a little fun?
Yes.
We need more humor in the world, and I think
Yes.
people have really forgotten that. So
Yeah.
learn to laugh
Have
again, people.
fun. Learn to enjoy life. It's too short to deal with BS anyway.
Yeah. So what do we got out in the chat? Wicked Wild, you got something out there?
So, mm-hmm.
How about Michelle? What you got?
I'm going B.
B.
Told you folks to answer B.
God damn it. So, number 3. Oh, Wicked Wild, do you got anything?
Doesn't look like it. Damn.
So, number 3. What is the significance of trichome color in determination of harvest time? That is going to be B. Cloudy trichomes indicate peak THC levels, while amber trichomes indicate more CBN presence.
Boy, you know, I'm so shocked.
Bonus, does anyone know why?
What's that?
Bonus, do you know why? That or what? Shit. I should have wrote it down. Oh well. But where did the CBN come from?
I believe
Bonus.
it comes from the extra exposure to the light or the heat.
Kind of. It is the degradation or the breaking down of the THC. It creates CBN
And CBD.
Cool.
and CBD and those other cannabinoids and stuff.
Shit, yeah.
I know.
What do we got here?
Sorry, call came in.
Nah,
You
we
didn't find the
appreciate you
answer.
anyway.
Awesome, guys. Well,
Thanks for
we'll
playing
move
along.
on. Yeah, absolutely.
Great questions as always, Tanaki.
Yeah. Sorry, the first two kicked y'all's butts.
Dude, with
Yeah,
an
you did.
ass whooping on him.
Yes, you did.
Do we want to do our Ghost Train Haze?
I think we should before we go into.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Choo-choo.
Strain of the week.
Do we want to go to the video first, or we want to go into the information first?
You know, why don't we do the video first?
All right, guys.
Be right back after this video.
Cannabis industry as well as
Oh, not that one.
Woke up in the mansion, paid on a monster team. Citrus in the air with the wild mind begins. My mind's a nebula, stars, no signs of life to leave. Just a train with glowing eyes, and it's picking up the speed. I'm riding the ghost train, the thoughts I can't contain. To pandering dreams in my dopamine brain. Every stop's a new place that I've never seen. Euphoric on the track, it's the ghost train haze machine. Electric shadows crawl across the floor. Ideas bloom like flowers I ain't seen before. Heartbeats sync with the sound of the steam. I'm lucidly living in a waking dream. It's not just high, it's an interstellar motion. Drifting through space on citrus and ocean. And if I lose my way, I'll just float on terms of smoke. That's citrus ego. That citrus ego. You're just soft and distant words go. Next stop, your imagination. Time only of memories forgotten then. Old thoughts dressed as strangers, call me the friend. The walls are whispering stories I never wrote. Each puff another chapter in this diary of smoke. I pass through across the mountain of time. A kaleidoscope spinning through my spine. In dust just made of crystal, his eyes like flame. He knows there's nothing here that stays the same. I'm riding the ghost train, the thoughts I can't contain. My brain's a kaleidoscope, breaking the frame. Reality drips off like morning rain. Euphoric in the storm of the ghost train haze. Next stop, wherever my mind dares to go.
Why do you keep trying to throw that one on?
Because it's got a picture of Nate right in front. So, sorry.
Anyway, Ghost Train. It is going to be a sativa dominant hybrid with an 80-20 lean.
So you want that pick me up? That's going to be one for you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. It is bred by Rare Dankness. Ghost Train Haze is a sativa dominant hybrid created by crossing Ghost OG and Neville's Wreck.
Neville's Wreck.
Neville's Wreck. Never heard of either of those strains.
You know, I haven't either. I actually haven't heard of Ghost Train Haze either. So this is my first experience with it. Never grew it or anything else like that, but they say that the THC is reported to be around 25 to 27%, with some tests exceeding 27% if you're paying the money. Effective medical use. The strain is known for energizing cerebral high. Apparently, I need a little bit of that.
Cerebral high, man.
Cerebral. You're gonna want to play chess on this shit. Uplifting mood, euphoria, creative focus, often paired with a grounding body experience at higher doses. So
nice. For flavors and terpenes, the flavor is going to be sour, citrusy, and floral with little hints of earthy, pine, and sweet. And the dominant terpenes are going to be terpenoline, myrcene, limonene, with minor amounts of caryophyllene, alpha-pinene, and I haven't heard of this one before. Alpha-phallandrine. Phallandrine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you did great.
Cool.
Flowering 65 to 80 days indoor. Yield moderate to high.
I hope it's high.
Dense trichome buds with frosty appearance. It's known relatively easy to cultivate under proper conditions. And that's from Seed Finder and Weed Maps.
Nice choice.
Very nice.
Has anyone out there in our chat and whatnot, have you guys tried the Ghost strain haze or any of its parent strains? Those
We
being
used to
the
do it.
Ghost OG and Neville's Rec.
We did actually. What was the one that we did? What was it? It was something train. Didn't we grow train something for a while? Love. I can't
I
remember.
think it was train wreck.
Was it train wreck?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know Trainwreck. That's one that I knew growing up.
Sometime.
Cheese, a couple others that were.
Yeah,
bit.
cheese blooch. Now we're more into the hybrid. People are starting to do a lot more terpene hunting and stuff like that. I mean,
Yes, actually, that's one of my. That's one of the more popular things I've been seeing lately in the dispensary, is people coming in and they already know which, like they want THCV or CBDV. They're like
Nice.
very specific in what they want to find in their bud or flower or whatever.
hell yeah.
So that's fun. We get to play a little rabbit hole of hunting down all the COAs and scanning everything and being like, oh, I found this one with this in it. But it doesn't have any of this. Okay, keep looking.
Right.
It's been definitely interesting. I mean, you'll probably always have those people that walk in and go, what's your highest THC?
You know,
They're
I mean,
missing out.
they're the same kind of people who walk in the bar and be like, give me a shot of whiskey. You know, don't care which kind, give me the cheapest, or give me a shot of vodka. They're missing out on all kinds of different flavors out there for sure.
Mhm.
But, you know, I mean, it is the way it is. And we appreciate the fact that, you know, I appreciate the fact that there's people who are wanting to be more knowledgeable about the products and stuff like that. It obviously shows that the education that people are putting out, not just us, but a plethora of other people it's starting to pay off, and people are starting to become more and more of an educated consumer, not just THC hunters.
Well, even if they're not educated, they're feeling confident enough in, I guess, my ability as a bud tender and as a cannabis spokesperson. They're feeling confident enough in my ability to, give them a straightforward answer as to what, what the terpene is, what it does, how it affects their body, what this strain is going to do for them versus this strain, potential. I mean, not everything I say is going to be 100% accurate, because each strain interprets, or your body
Definitely.
interprets each little thing just a little bit different.
Well, and it affects each person a little bit differently. I mean, there's certain strains that affect people very nicely, whereas like Blue Dream, for instance. Yep.
Blue Dream.
Yes, definitely.
I like Blue Dream. Blue Dream is a nice, chill kind of sativa hybrid, but Nate, not so much. You get kind of mean on mean on Blue Dream, don't you?
No, I
know
get
it's headaches.
It's just really paranoid. I just feel like, oh, why is that person looking at me? And it's just like, dude, that person is blind. What are you talking about?
Looking your direction.
Okay,
What are you worried about?
I got that way on a strain called Red Dragon. Oh my god, I got it in like pre-rolls or something, and I smoked 2 of them. And they were like little half-gram pre-rolls. Don't come at me. But
Dog wagga.
oh my goodness, I was so freaking paranoid. I was like so scared that I actually like wrapped myself in a blanket and kind of cried a little bit. And I was like, someone help me. That's fine. I was fine. I just took a nap.
Sleep it off, folks. It's generally the idea with cannabis. I mean, sleep it off. It'll be all right. If not, get some rescue CBD.
Yep, rescue CBD, eat a snack, take a nap,
Water.
watch
The
a movie.
munchies work.
Kids movie specifically.
Kids movie.
Kids
Yeah.
movies always work. They're just comforting.
And nothing dark. Like, I mean,
Oh god. Yeah,
Don't-
don't be watching like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
you
What else is there? What else?
want like Frozen or something like that.
There you go. Something musical.
Paw
happy.
Patrol.
Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna rewatch Ice Age. Thank you
Watch
for that.
the squirrel. I mean, he does it all.
Yes, yes, he does. Anyway,
So
get back onto topic, onto things here.
got a lot going on as far as the news. We'll get into that a little bit later. We joined us in transit. We appreciate him doing that. We did get some pre-recording done with him. We can definitely get into that whenever we feel like it.
Do you want to just kind of end with it, or do you want to just stay and do the news first, I think, and then maybe go into that?
I don't know. It's entirely up to everybody out there, but I think we can definitely jump into the news. There's quite a bit going on out there that we can go over for sure.
We haven't been playing your little songs either. We've been really failing at
Bum,
those.
bum, bum. Everyone loves the little news with Nate.
All right.
Cannabis updates fresh and real. Tune in with Nate, it's the big deal. Cannabis news with Nate, let's go. Every story makes you go. Stay informed, don't be late. Cannabis news with Nate.
We're back with the news, that's for sure. So real quickly, coming out here in Montana, we have an event going on that everybody should be aware of. Cannabis Now magazine, Lionheart, the Montana Green pages. So Friday and Saturday, August 22nd and 23rd, 726 7th Avenue in Bozeman, Montana. There's going to be a lot of artists going on there. Going to be quite a few events. So if you're looking for something to do on the 22nd and 23rd, you might want to go check out the Alpenglow event, Cannabis Now magazine.
Oh man.
Anyways, we're throwing stuff around here. So yeah, getting back into the actual regular news that I'm also throwing on the floor. Hey, give me my news back, dog. Dog stole my homework. I'm trying to eat it. Anyways, great news for veterans. VA doctors can finally recommend medical marijuana as soon as the president signs, of course. In a 66-33 vote, the Senate passed an amendment to the 2025 Military Construction and VA Appropriations Bill that will let Veteran Affairs doctor recommend medical marijuana to military vets living in legal states. So yeah, basically, this is a really good step forward. All of the VA doctors who have been we smoke.
We do smoke. We smoke before and we smoke after, and we enjoy ourselves.
All right, so some more great news rolling on. We got to give some love out to our friends over there in the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic has legalized homegrown and embraces psilocybin for medicinal use.
Oh shit!
Yep. Czech Republic went good with it, folks.
Damn.
So yeah, while the U.S. argues over labeling and licensing, the Czech Republic just legalized home cultivation of marijuana and authorized medicinal use of psilocybin.
Oh fuck! It was a twofer.
Yeah, they got 2 for 1.
Damn. I didn't know they fucking partied like that.
Congratulations to our friends over there in the Czech Republic for damn sure.
Heck yeah! Congrats, guys.
Yeah,
Fucking have fun.
the president looks like Petri Pavel signed the bill this week, legalizes personal homegrown of cannabis. So you got them home grows going on. Need any tips? Give us a call. We'll put you in touch with Tanaki, and she can, give you some damn trivia and let you know exactly how to grow your garden.
Okay.
I can help with marijuana. I've never grown any sort of mushrooms actually.
Yes, indeed.
Someone buy me like oyster kit or something.
Shit, yeah.
Just kidding. I want to take care of it.
So the one thing about the it not only allows for psilocybin, but it also allows for MDMA treatments under supervision. So it's not like you can just go out and start grabbing mushrooms off the black market, or there's an open sale of black market mushrooms or something. It's got to be somewhat under a doctor's supervision when you're doing it.
Which makes sense, I think, especially if you're starting out. If you've never tried anything like that,
But also, meanwhile, here in the damn U.S., we've got fucking congressmen saying that, psilocybin mushrooms turn you into a fucking garden gnome. So, I'm just like, dude, we're this far stupid, with our people who, and they're this uneducated about what these things can do. How long is it going to take us to catch up to the rest of the world this time around
well, it's
again?
taken us over 20 years in marijuana. So, you got to think about it. It's been like 40 years that people have been beating this drum, and 50 years.
Well, and all the studies that we've talked about on this show, and that have been put out, show that it's helping with PTSD, it's helping with depression, it's helping with all of these things. And I'm just wondering how long it takes, for the rest of everybody to get their crap together in order for us to be able to treat those things efficiently.
Exactly. And to stop using other medications that are hurting them and have horrible side effects versus something that has natural cannabinoids that isn't going to give them the massive side effects. And the most side effect we're going to get is they get the munchies, or they get tired, or they get a little anxious.
Yeah.
That's the extent of your side effects. And it doesn't matter what strains some people have worse effects of it, but I think tolerance is a lot of that.
True that for sure.
Building your tolerance up.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, one of those cannabinoids, either THCV or CBDV, actually prevents the munchies.
Dude.
Can't remember which, but I know it's one of the V's. So
if you don't want the munchies, look for that one out there, folks. But the Czech Republic just gave me like 2 really good reasons to, want to go visit there. In addition to the million other reasons that I would want to visit there. But there's probably a lot of cool homies around there that do some awesome home growing.
Imagine what they would have.
can someone fund a field trip?
Field trip.
I don't care if it's sketchy. We'll
Come
go.
on.
We'll go.
We'll do it. Even if it's in the back of a bus.
We need a dog watcher, so just so you know. But other than that, we're open.
Yes. I'm sure we can find someone to watch.
All right.
It's fine.
We're going to keep this great news rolling on. Guess what? Our friends over in Delaware, they've got their first adult use cannabis shops are open.
You said where?
Delaware.
Oh.
So if you want to get some smoke on over there in Delaware, they've got their first ever shops that are open. So basically the first state, what the
tips today?
You know what? I think that's pretty much the edge of it right there. I mean, we've gone over the veterans. You know, the bud tenders are statistically the happiest workers in America. Europe is growing weed and legalizing mushrooms, and Delaware just lit up its first spliff. So, yep, we're golden, folks. That's the
awesome.
news with Nate.
Cool. I'm not gonna lie. Most of the time that we were going through the news, I can't think of his name, but that one dude when he's fucking yelling at the camera about how they're putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. That is all that was playing through my head, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's golden. That's a great visual for sure.
Dogs are all gay.
The frogs are all gay.
Anyway, on that note, I think we should hop into our little interview with David.
With Raymond Guns,
Raymond Guns. Yep.
CPA or CFO, COO of DOPE CFO. There you go.
All right.
We'll get that down one day. Needing some CPA or bookkeeping kind of services. So, Raymond, thanks for joining us this evening. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to come out here to Montana from your location and give us a little bit more information about your business.
Yeah. So DOPE CFO, just as the name implies, we offer CFO advisory services all the way down to accounting, financial reporting, purely for cannabis and hemp companies. The founder of the company is based out of Oregon, and so it was kind of started out on the West Coast. Originally, actually, as a education business to teach CPAs about the cannabis industry, the types of clients in the cannabis industry, the tax codes and laws that really, affect the cannabis industry. And then from there, he started a franchise where we're actively serving cannabis business owners and operators again. That's kind of where I started working with DOPE CFO, and so. But yeah, CPA by trade, did audit for a number of years and then worked for the finance team of a large Fortune 100 company. That's really where I cut my teeth in financial controls, closing the books each month, comparing our financial performance against the budget to try to build these, profit centers, build these income units, business units, into profitable business units. And so we took what we learned on, bigger companies and apply it to startup cannabis companies. That's kind of the quick and dirty of my story. And so I'm fortunate living in Wisconsin, so we're right next to Michigan. So back in around 2009, Michigan had a caregiver program, and so I had some cousins and friends shoot up to the UP to set up a grow. Kind of did the same hustle out in Colorado, 2009 or 2012, 2015 timeframe, and so I would follow them out there, check out the grows. But so I've always been around it, and then out to Oregon, down to Oklahoma. But being around it my whole life, I was like, I don't really want to be a farmer. Like, I grew up on a dairy farm milking cows, so I was all right, I'm gonna go to college. I don't want to just keep farming into being an adult. But I always loved the plant, always loved the culture, always loved the people, and I didn't recognize it at the time because all we did was outdoor grows, and that's just kind of what I was used to. But then when I went to Colorado, I got to see commercial indoor grows, and I was like, oh, okay, this is actually a legitimate industry. And I was probably a freshman in college at that time. Around there. So 2009, 2012. And then when I graduated college, I shot out there as well. And that's when I really knew okay, I want to be back in the cannabis industry, but I had my own insecurities. So I had to become a CPA, work on Wall Street, climb a little bit of that corporate ladder before I felt comfortable coming into the cannabis industry. But yeah, I always knew I was going to be here. And then hemp in 2018 was kind of when I got pulled back into the industry on the legal side. And through there, just kept rolling from hemp into medical into adult use. And that was kind of the connection to the cannabis plant and getting into the industry.
Excuse me. What do you think is the number one advice that you would give to cannabis businesses that are out there either starting or that are running their business as far as keeping their books together and stuff like that?
I try to stay in my lane of accounting and finance, and so I wouldn't want to speak to the overall business owner because there's many facets to the business, but I would speak to the accounting, to the CFO, financial controller, the head of the finances and accounting of the business. But to keep it straight, we just live and die by the month-end close process. It's that's how it is done. It's not is it this or that? It's one answer. It's close your books at the end of the month. So we're just coming up to the end of July. So anybody who's running a proper business, and it has nothing to do with cannabis. Like, this is how we run construction companies, healthcare companies, marketing companies, SaaS. You close your books at the end of the month. So we're going to close July's books next week. Like, all right, finalize all of the money in, finalize all the money out, all of the assets, liabilities, equity, close the books. And then once we actually have the books closed, that's honestly the biggest part of keeping them organized. It's just most people can't close their books every month for a number of reasons. They either need to rely on an accounting firm that's outsourced, or it's just not really front of mind. But closing your books at the end of every month, that's how you keep it organized. But that's just step one. Like, once you close the books by the first or second week, we tend to use the second week. The third week is when you go into the future. And so then we're going to compare the actual financial statements from July to what we forecasted for July. And then also we're going to take those closed books from July to forecast the future for September, because we're going to be in August while we do this process. And so that's kind of as far as like, how do you keep your books and records organized? It's closing them every 4 weeks at the end of the month, and then having a strict process where it's deadline driven. Candidly, it's, if you can't close the books by this date, get a new accountant. And that's kind of like the reality of it. But that's how I think through of it. And I try to stay in my lane of like, I don't want to tell anybody how to run their business, but from like an accounting and finance perspective, like that I do know.
I've also am a real estate broker, and we brokerage in cannabis businesses as well as other businesses. So I see this a lot. People who don't have their books in order, they don't have their financial statements, their P&Ls together. It really hampers and hurts their businesses. Do you see a lot of that as well? And do you see a lot of makeup for people who have been neglecting their stuff coming through your office? Or
we always say it's like, no matter who the client is, there's always some level of cleanup. And so every onboarding process is standard for our clients, and some have way more cleanup than others, but there's always some cleanup. It's like there's whether it's a prior business transaction that just didn't really get accounted for, or full on restatement of taxes and whatnot and financial statements. Like, that's obviously the most worst case scenario, but there's always some level of cleanup, reconciling that's doing it. Like, wait, what's actually in this account? Give me the support for that account. Okay, do we actually have this? Did this transaction happen? So there's always some level of cleanup in that regards. And so, for sure, if you've seen it on like the due diligence process, is like, because that's really where it gets brought up. Like, when you're running your business, like, you're just running your business. No one's really questioning you about the assets and liabilities, and like, okay, what is the reality of your equity? Like, what is the real equity of the business? You've been rolling it forward for like 3 to 7 years, but what's really in there? And so that's where a lot of that gets teased out, is during the due diligence process. But we see it with every company, whether they go through the due diligence process or they usually have some level of cleanup. And that's where, again, there's a very standard process that you go through to like get the support for every account. If you don't have the support, that's usually a good indication to look into that account and like, okay, like what is that in here? That's kind of how to think through it.
There's a rabbit hole here we need to go down for sure. I see from a lot of businesses is that, as you're running your business, obviously they try to hide everything from Uncle Sam, and try to keep as much back in the pocket. But then when it comes time to sell business, on paper, it doesn't look that attractive. How do you keep that fine balance with your clients as well?
There's no secret to it. It's like you do need to have a tax strategy. It does need to be aggressive, but it can't be egregious. Like, if it's egregious, that's where it's going to hurt your valuation. And again, more of an art than a science. And some investors or buyers may look at your tax strategy different than other investors and buyers. And so we need to be candid about that, where it's all about risk tolerance. But the nature of the American cannabis industry is the taxes are fairly egregious. So you need to be pretty aggressive with your tax strategy. But again, there's a line that you can't cross. And so with our clients, we're pretty aggressive. So it's like, go up as close to the line as you can, because we need to run a profitable business for our stakeholders, and also like to have a business that's valuable. But you never want to cross the line into egregious territory. Because again, like, that's going to hurt your valuations. But I've just been in this industry long enough where there's different business owners that have different risk tolerances. And even if they say they want to sell, they'll just take a very aggressive tax strategy. Because at the end of the day, like, it's not my business. Like, I can lead a horse to water, give it all of the strategy and everything, but they'll still, do what they want to do sometimes. And that does hurt people. In some companies, some buyers are willing to look the other way on like a large tax bill because they're going to calculate the taxes owed their own way. That's part of due diligence. And so if we calculate taxes at this, but you've only paid, this much, there's a huge tax liability that I don't want to purchase. So that discrepancy usually just lowers their value. So it's that the balancing act of like and it kind of starts way on the front end of what do you want to do with this business? Do you want to run it into a nice profitable business that you run for a long time, or are you trying to sell it very, very quickly? So that's going to approach our tax or affect our tax strategy. But at the end of the day, like be aggressive, but never egregious. And just have it well documented, which kind of circles back to closing the books, doing your calculations. So you can kind of just really, what they call it, support your tax position.
Definitely. That's smart advice for sure. So, you moved in the executive leadership role at DOPE CFO. What has that transition been like? And, what is your priorities as a COO now rather than just a CPA?
So we're a franchise. And so that's what I think is like interesting about us. So yeah, predominantly have switched to now I speak with a lot of accountants and CPAs on a weekly basis. And try to bring them in as teammates for us, essentially franchise owners or staff or people who work with our franchise owners. So speaking with a lot of accountants and CPAs, but on the same kind of building in tandem, I'm speaking with many cannabis business owners every week to try to figure out where they have a need for accounting and finance and tax solutions or have pain points, and then try to introduce them to our CFOs to, service each other. And so that's what my role looks like day to day now. So by design, I don't serve clients anymore. We may here and there on special projects, but predominantly my 80% of my time is talking with accountants and trying to bring them in as teammates, talking with business owners, trying to bring them in, or trying to set up those conversations. And then the 20% is just a lot of the back office admin stuff.
That makes sense for sure. So, there's a lot going on within the federal regulations and stuff like that. What are some of the things that you see as being, hurting cannabis businesses or even hurting CPA practices, or, maybe a hard situation to deal with when it comes to some of these federal prohibitions and, the inability to write off certain things like normal businesses would as well?
Yeah. For sure. It's like we're getting out of prohibition at the state level, state by state, but it's still federally illegal. So at the end of the day, even when your state decouples from 280E, which is great, it's not getting hit at the state level. It's still federally illegal. 280E still applies at the federal level. Of course, people are getting cute with, lawyer letters and other ways around it, but that's the biggest, hurdle is it's still federally illegal. And it's not even that it's illegal, it's Schedule 1. Like if you really get into it, once they do reschedule it to Schedule 3, or if they reschedule it, then 280E goes away. Essentially free cash flow goes up, pretty much immediately, which then that means that we can then pay back investors, expand operations. Honestly, being able to pay back investors with the additional free cash flow will bring in more capital. So obviously rescheduling is the biggest one that's like closest to maybe something that happens. And then on the accounting industry or CPA industry as a whole, like the big issue with the CPA industry, and I kind of see it separate from the cannabis industry. I think CPA and accounting is like its own industry. It's gotten that bad, but there's too many of them, and there's more CPAs are retiring than CPAs that are being made. And CPAs predominantly are still stuck in the past of they only do taxes or they do audits. But realistically, they're like pretty capable accounting and finance professionals. So if they just like graduate to the next level of finance professional, they'd be able to, be a financial controller, maybe, advance through there, provide value day to day to business owners, help business owners improve their profit margins. Like, I think it's more interesting being an accountant who serves their clients like day to day and helps their clients grow their business than it is to just show up once a year and do a tax or file
I think
taxes.
it's a lot like people who are in the computer programming industry. A lot of them freaked out because AI came about, was able to program a lot faster than them. But I think many of them are figuring out ways to actually use that as a tool to augment their particular skill set and move up. And so, I would say that that's probably some of the same thing that we also see with nursing. A lot more nurses are leaving the profession than coming into it. And how do you attract some of that better talent? You can't just do the same old mantra. I mean, what do you guys see as far as the CPA or finance industry?
I would say the way that we attract talent is and it's kind of unique, is we're digitally native. And so because DOPE CFO is digitally native, it's beneficial for a few reasons. And so our clients, we can get clients in any market because we can service them pretty much anywhere. You know, we just need access to their accounting software, their online banking, their online cloud-based softwares, and we can do the accounting and finance correctly, get the taxes filed. So we can serve clients in any market because we're digitally native. So that attracts people to our company. We're able to find talent in any new market because we don't require people to move to a head office somewhere. Like when I was a CPA, like I had to go to the office every day, and we had, we had our main office in Milwaukee or Chicago, and then we had satellite offices in Minneapolis, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Detroit. And so nowadays, like, you don't need to hire people in the city you have an office. Like, we can find talent all throughout the United States, realistically throughout the world. And so that's also attractive, is like being able to find clients anywhere, being able to find teammates anywhere, and then being able to work from anywhere. That also like attracts in good quality accountants to our firm. It attracts in like future looking CPAs into our firm because, and they all have, you know, families and kids, not like gallivanting, living the digital nomad life, but being able to like see your kid off to school, being able to like take a call while you watch your kid at practice, to be there to pick them up after practice. Like, it just attracts a much more like, I don't know, people that are kind of really trying to like challenge the status quo. And so I think that's how the firms are going about attracting people. And I would argue some accounting, like some cannabis companies could take that lesson. Like, I still get cannabis companies who are like, no, we need somebody in office. And it's like, they're just going to go sit down and flip their laptop open.
Right.
I think you just need somebody who actually knows how to do the financial controlling of your business. Just hire that guy. And they're like, no, I need to hire somebody from here. That'll solve the problem. It's like, no, you need somebody who knows how to solve the problem, not somebody who's local to you.
Right. That's exactly correct. I mean, you can hire somebody who, you know, is filling a position, but whether or not they can do that position well, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
So do you see AI affecting your world in the
finances? Oh, yeah. I mean, we're like everybody else. Yeah. It's not like I think, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's just like, no, it's yeah, of course it affects us. Not as drastic as people think. I mean, for sure, like bookkeeping, it's a lot of the repetitive stuff that's like high volume of transactions. And we already kind of had before AI, there was already a good amount of just software learning that, like, once we allocated the expense one time, it could pair the vendor with the expense account. It could pair like the, description with the expense account. So the mapping was already pretty good. AI, of course, improves it drastically. So that would say highly repetitive tasks it helps with. And then on the sales side, because we're still a business, so we got to generate sales. Like, to an extent, it does help a little bit, like recording calls, and then it'll analyze the call like unbiasedly. And so what I like is when it analyzes our calls, it breaks down who talked the most, what was positive conversation, what was negative conversation, what were the questions, what were pain points. It does a pretty good job of summarizing it all. And so like after our calls, because a lot of them are like operational calls where it's like, okay, we agreed to do XYZ. So you can like really be present with your clients. So you're like actually talking to head of sales, like, okay, like, why did we not hit this sales number? Okay, XYZ. Should we factor that into the forecast for the next month or the next quarter? No, this because of this reason and because of this holiday, XYZ. And so then when we're like making the forecast a week later, we can like literally go back to like I use Fireflies, and you can like pinpoint down where they're like, because of this reason, this will impact the forecast of this reason. And so I guess having AI sitting on your calls, but those are really the only ways right now. We're just being patient with it. Like, we're not in a rush to like integrate AI into everything we do. Like, we're not like we're the high-tech accounting firm that's going to make your problem solved with AI. It's like, no, we're going to solve your problems because we've solved them before. And we're going to use AI intelligently to like do sales and maybe help us with some repetitive tasks to like save time. But like, our best practices and like actually understanding accounting and finance is the solution. Like, AI just helps us, it doesn't like take over. That's kind of where we're using it, but we're excited about it. We know it's just gonna keep making things more interesting. What about you guys? Like, do you use it? Where do you guys see it kind of impacting what you do?
Use it for daily.
So quite a bit of our stuff, with our clips and stuff like that we generate. We have a couple of different like Adobe Opus clips, several different software programs that we utilize. We don't just, throw it in and let it spit out whatever it gives us. We generally tailor it a lot further than what the normal person can get out of just the buy it programs. But, a lot of the songs, we start off with the composition, the lyrics, stuff like that. We do work with some AI programs as far as the music and instrumentals, bringing those in. So, we definitely use it quite a bit. And then, as far as the actual cannabis side of the world, though, I don't think there's a whole lot of integration into it right now. There's not a whole lot of controls into the grow systems or stuff like that. And I'm looking at that as an open market area right now. If you had a little more AI controls with your automations, with your fan systems, with your CO2s and, injections, stuff like that, I think you're going to be in a heck of a lot better position as far as being able to help you with your projects and in your job as well, keeping everything sort of logged in, what you're buying, where you're getting it from, how you're doing that. I think AI can really be powerful, but it just hasn't married over to the cannabis world yet.
No, we'll get there. Because it's all just like feeding it data. Like I find it so interesting. So we actually use it, I would say like a third where that we're using it, and this is mainly like for clients, is A/B analysis. Like you close the books, third week you do finance and the FP&A stuff, but then the final week of every month is the punch list time where it's like, hey, we're thinking about doing a joint venture with this entity versus this entity. Can we how do we analyze it? And so like getting through like a deep analysis where you're kind of like asking AI questions and asking it to do an analysis, like I've been pretty impressed with like the analysis that we're able to generate. And then kind of once you have a base one, then you can get into like the Excel and the spreadsheets and really get nimble with it. But I like it for initial high level A/B analysis of product SKUs, markets, structures of deals. So yeah, it's still I'm still learning every day how to use it. And I find little ways where I'm like, maybe that's a good way to use it, but we'll just put that on the review column. So no, I find it pretty interesting, but also like, I do think it's overhyped. And so as much as I like it, I also think people use it as a sales point way too much. And it's like, can do a few things, but it can't do everything. That's kind of what I feel. Right?
I don't see AI outwaxing my vehicle on the weekend. So, once it gets to that point, then we can talk. The one thing that I see that's really advantageous, the agents, they're starting to emerge from GPT and stuff like that. The agents are what's going to help, I think, people in your business and other business, because you can sort of set it like, look at this spreadsheet and then give me this. And instead of going through all the spreadsheets, going through all the particular data sets and everything else like that, you can just tell it, look, these are the things I'm looking for in this data set. Go through, double check your work for sure. But I see that as taking a lot less time than somebody sitting through, large sets of data and trying to figure out from one month to the other month what's what. But I think that's going to come in time for sure. So we are a cannabis podcast. You are a cannabis aligned business, so we got to ask you a couple of those quick questions. Are you a cannabis user yourself?
Yeah, probably since before I was too early.
Hell yeah, good stuff. So what's your preferred method of use? Do you like drinks? Do you like edibles, tinctures? I mean, you're a flower guy. What's in it for you?
Yeah. I'm old school. I was raised by Uncle Snoop, so I'm a flower guy, pretty much through and through. Grew up, smoking a lot of Rellos and joints. For sure, a lot of joints. I like hip hop, so I like Wiz Khalifa. He was into joints, and so kind of always been a flower smoker. Definitely, my friends and other people are into the concentrates, and I enjoy them for the flavor. I think a dab tastes phenomenal, but if I take more than two, I'm going to sleep. And so flower, nice and easy. I prefer joints. Honestly, I'll even smoke a pipe, old school style.
Definitely. Nice glass pipe every once in a while, or a bong rip, head snap at night. That's a good way. Definitely. Well, you mentioned music real quick, and we also talked about some of the stuff that we do, some of the AI tools that we have and stuff. We created a song for you. We'd like to play that for you real quick, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
Raymond Guns with the numbers. Dope CFO, let's run it. Yeah. Yeah, he ain't just a CPA, he a boss in the game. From artist to cannabis, he changed the whole lane. Stacking G facts, got that spreadsheet flame. Raymond Guns in the cut, recognize the name. Ain't just a CPA, he a boss in the game. From artist to cannabis, he changed the whole lane. Stacking G facts, got that spreadsheet flame. Raymond Guns in the cut, recognize the name. Started out an artist, now he owns a playbook. Turned 280E into a blueprint look. From Johnson Controls to the cannabis scene. Now we see your whoa, building $1 million teams. Advisory strong, forget just tax. He's teaching CPAs how to bring that back. With a cloud-based stack in the growth state mind. He's lighting up books while you still try to find time. You stuck in the past, raising the now. Got dope on the map, and he's showing you how. From Milwaukee to the nation, he's changing the tone. When it comes to the green, he's in a lane of his own. He ain't just a CPA, he a boss in the game. From artist to cannabis, he changed the whole lane. Stacking G facts, got that spreadsheet flame. Raymond Guns in the cut, recognize the name. He ain't just a CPA, he a boss in the game. From artist to cannabis, he changed the whole lane. Stacking G facts, got that spreadsheet flame. Raymond Guns in the cut, recognize the name. Yeah.
Man, I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to get that audio. Oh, I like it. I always used to joke with my friends. I'm like, I want to be in a hip hop music video, just in the background at some point in my life.
And you're welcome to use that song and clip whatever. Just all we ask is that you give us the credit for it. So
I will. I'm looking forward to getting that from you.
So before we went to the song, we were talking a little bit about music and stuff like that, but you were also talking about, where we're at within the digital world and you being a bit digitally exclusive. So how do you see cryptocurrency or digital currencies as being, within the CPA world? And what are some of the headaches and some of the excitement that you see surrounding the cryptocurrency world?
Like anything, I mean, the headaches are just the minutia of it, and when you file your taxes, like now the government is trying to figure out, like, okay, how much money did you actually make off your alternative investments, crypto investments, where 5-10 years ago, it's like it wasn't even a thing. So frustrations, I guess, are just Uncle Sam trying to get his greedy paws in there. And then the exciting part is that it's becoming more acceptable. I travel a lot, so I'm used to having multiple currencies, and, I keep my euros, I keep my pounds, I keep my pesos, I keep my dollars. And so it only makes sense to keep, stocks, and you diversify your stock portfolio. You'd want to diversify, your portfolio with crypto. And so just as a value holder, it makes sense to me. And then even as a form of like buying and selling goods, B2B, it is exciting because everybody knows, like, anybody trying to do larger payments and having to deal with payment providers and banks, and cannabis is huge. It's like we're a heavily cash business still. And trust me, I've done a deep dive of like, what is an acceptable, form of card payment in cannabis versus cash. And it's like, everybody says their, cashless solution is legit. And then the deeper you go, you find out it's not. So the excitement part is for commerce to be happening, where people can do more buying and selling at like a B2C level. I think that's kind of an exciting part, because I feel like businesses are already getting pretty quick. They're quickly starting to accept it. Like once they kind of start holding value in crypto, they're willing to do business in cryptocurrencies. And so I feel like that's already starting, but then it also like getting down to the customer level. Which again, that's also like gets into a really murky waters because it's still federally illegal. And so I think that's what excites us about it. But it's definitely, it's becoming more mainstream. Obviously, there was a big announcement recently. I don't follow it really, really closely, but I know there's a big win that just happened. I'll leave it at that.
And we're back, guys.
Yeah, we're back. And Diesel's having a drink of water.
Yeah.
Got cotton mouth. So we appreciate. Is there anything else that we need to go over? I mean, we went over. Did we go over everything?
We did everything, but I want to thank everybody for sticking around and watching with us.
Most definitely.
Turn my mic back towards me.
Who do we have next week? We have. Is that Incog next week?
We have Tia next week
Okay.
from the golf tournament that we did with Madhouse. She is her own promotion company.
Right, her PR firm.
Yep, her PR firm. So we have her next Friday, and then after that we have Incognito, which is or Incog 420 Incog that does
Yes.
the sweatshirts and t-shirts. So that is going to be a fun one, and they are. I can't remember where they're located out of.
So I think located out of a couple of different spots. I know one of the partners is located out of Florida, and I think another one maybe out of Michigan or somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So, but we'll definitely be able to answer those questions during the interview.
What?
So yeah, that's what we got coming up in these next couple weeks, and then we are talking about possibly taking a couple weeks after that off and just doing our clips and then revamping kind of everything and going from there.
We also are going to be doing an episode where we're going to invite you, the guests, people who follow us, to join in and get in on the discussion. A little bit of an AMA session. And then we're also talking about maybe switching it up to a different night. Let us know in some comments, drop us some lines, let us know through some emails or whatever. What would be a good time for you guys? Is Friday night at 8:30 still good, or what is a better time for you to be able to tune in and watch us and participate more on all of our episodes?
Are mornings easier? Afternoons? What are we thinking, folks? We want to know.
With that,
I
think we'll say good night.
Heck yeah.
Have a
Peace
great
out.
weekend.
All right, thank you guys.